Hey Wildcats, Miss Rodriguez here, and I'm going to explain how the energy pyramid works. I noticed a lot of you were a little bit confused on how to calculate the energy in our assignment from last week, so I'm going to go ahead and model it for you. So if you notice, my pyramid is a little bit smaller than the ones that you've been practicing on, and that is because we have our producer level, we have a primary consumer, secondary consumer, and a tertiary consumer, instead of having that fourth level, which is our quaternary. So again, I only have 3 levels of consumer in this diagram and then a producer. So to start off our energy pyramid, this particular pyramid gets their energy from the sun. So like we mentioned before, there are some food chains and food webs that get their energy through chemical reactions. So for example, deep sea ecosystems. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and use the sun as our energy source. And so our sun starts off with 1,000 units of energy in this example. So I'm going to put 1,000 here. And that 1,000 units of energy is going to go directly to our producers. And so I'm going to write down here. Producers. And so that means they get the full amount of 1,000 units from the sun. And so like we mentioned before in our classes, that not all of the energy is going to move up to the next level because the organisms that currently have that energy use it for daily activities such as growing, running, reproducing, and those other sort of activities. So only 10% of the energy ever moves up to the next level. So in this diagram, we are going to be moving up to the next level, and we are actually going to be multiplying the 1,000 units by 10%. So I'm going to go ahead and put here 1,000 times 0.10 to get the next answer for our tomato hornworm caterpillar. And so if I multiply 1,000 by 0.10, the answer will be 100 units of energy. So now our caterpillar received 100 units of energy, which he's going to be doing some other activities, such as growing, transforming into a caterpillar, all those things that a caterpillar does. And so if he were to be consumed by our next level, which is our Carolina wren, only 10% would move up again. So then I would go ahead and do 100. Let's do that in white. 100 times 0.10. And that's going to get us 10 units of energy for the wren to use. And so the wren will do the same thing. It'll do daily activities using up about 90% of that energy. So then when the red-tailed hawk consumes the wren, he would only get 10% of that energy that's left over. So 10 times 0.10 gives the hawk only 1 unit of energy left over. And so again, I'm going to go ahead and label my levels. So I had my producer, my primary, consumer, my secondary, and then finally my hawk is my tertiary in this example. So like I mentioned before, not every ecosystem will have 4 levels of consumers. Generally, they would have just your producer and then 3 levels of consumers after that. So again, for this example, I only had my producer level and then 3 levels of consumers. Hopefully this made sense to you all. because on the next slides, you're going to be actually practicing this on your own, and I will share the answers with you towards the end of class.